St. John's, Newfoundland. 1971, a woman wakes in the night, fully conscious, and cannot move. Something is sitting on her chest. A dark shape stands at the foot of her bed. She is not the first to report this. In Newfoundland, this experience has a name that goes back centuries. They call it being hagged. David Hufford was a folklorist at Memorial University of Newfoundland. He arrived in 1971 to study local traditions. What he found instead was something he had not anticipated: dozens of residents describing the same experience, independently, using the same language, the same sequence of events, the same presence. The pattern was consistent. Witnesses would wake suddenly, usually between 2 and 4 in the morning. They were conscious and aware of their surroundings. They could not move any part of their body. They heard footsteps, felt a weight descend onto their chest, and sensed or saw a dark figure nearby. The episode lasted seconds to minutes. One of Hufford's key witnesses was a man in his 50s from an outport community south of St. John's. He described 3 separate episodes across 20 years. Each time, a sound at the door, paralysis, a crushing weight, and a dark form at the bedside. He had told no one for decades because he assumed it had a straightforward explanation he was missing. Hufford began collecting testimony systematically. He interviewed residents across the Avalon Peninsula and compared accounts. Witnesses ranged from teenagers to people in their 70s. They came from different communities and had not compared notes. Yet the core details, paralysis, pressure, dark figure, dread, appeared in nearly every account without variation. The term hag derives from an older English word, hag, referring to a supernatural creature believed to ride sleepers in the night. Variants of this belief appear in German folklore as the Nachtmar, in Caribbean tradition as the Sukuyant, and in Chinese records going back over 1,000 years. Hufford noted that cultures with no contact with each other had arrived at nearly identical descriptions. In 1982, Hufford published The Terror That Comes in the Night, documenting his findings. His sample from Newfoundland showed roughly 15% of respondents had experienced at least one episode. He also surveyed university students in the United States with no exposure to the Newfoundland tradition and found a comparable rate, with descriptions that matched almost word for word. Medical researchers had a term for it: sleep paralysis with hypnopompic hallucination. During REM sleep, the body suppresses muscle movement. If a person wakes before that suppression lifts, they remain physically immobile while conscious. The brain, in a transitional state, can generate vivid auditory and visual experiences. The shadow figure, researchers argued, was the mind manufacturing a presence to explain the threat signal. The neurological explanation accounts for the paralysis, the pressure sensation, and the hallucinated sounds. What it does not fully explain is the cross-cultural specificity, why the figure is consistently dark, consistently humanoid, consistently standing at the bed's foot or edge. Random hallucination would produce more varied imagery. Hufford argued the experience itself was generating the tradition, not the other way around. Hufford's research didn't settle the question, it sharpened it. The neuroscience explains the mechanism. It doesn't explain why thousands of people across centuries, with no shared culture, saw the same dark figure standing in the same place. So what do you think? Is there a rational explanation, or is something else going on? Drop a comment below, and if you've had an encounter of your own, we want to hear about it. Subscribe to WT Historical for more documented cases from the edge of history.